Hello the devil are we? I'm Matt, and we're back with more Proof Is Out There. This time, it's probably one of the most modern UFO sightings from a small aircraft. UFO flies by. I think someone said it was probably one of the most high-definition UFO videos out there. Now, if a pilot or a passenger in a small, like, Cessna-type plane can take a video, probably on their phone, then what's the shit that we're getting from the files that the US government has just deployed? Black and white, grainy, could be anything type videos. It is what it is. Anyway, let's go and take a look.
Pilot UFO encounters provide some of our most credible cases. And this encounter you're about to see is so compelling, some have called it the best UFO video ever.
I mean, it's a big title, the best UFO video ever. Balls in your court, US government.
2023, pilot Jorge Artiaga is flying a Cessna T-303 Crusader 12,500 feet over Colombia en route to Medellin when he sees a strange object moving toward the plane. He turns to his co-pilot, who confirms he also saw the object. Determined to investigate, Jorge turns the plane around and begins recording. A small speck appears in the distance, slowly approaching the aircraft. Then, in the blink of an eye, a silvery object zooms past the cockpit window. Let's slow that down. The object appears to be rotated at a 45-degree angle with a metallic domed top that tapers out into a sharp rim. When YouTuber Andrew Crawford finds the video online, he knows he has to get the word out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where I stand on it, because the fact that you can't tell from the video unless someone's done some analysis, and I'm assuming the experts are going to look at it and go, this is how big it looks to be, this is probably how fast it's travelling based on how fast the plane would likely be travelling, but it doesn't look that big, and it could easily be a balloon.
As I saw, I thought, wow, we have something that we need to take a closer look at. So I put the video out there, and it just took on a life of its own.
Andrew's followers
Can't quite pin his accent. Like, where is he, like in American English?
flock to the video, with some comments calling it the best UFO video ever. And soon, the pilot's first-hand account emerges in news reports.
He said when he was getting closer to this object, the object shot at him, straight towards him, which, wow, that's pretty spectacular. Also, this thing seemed to have the capabilities of some sort of intelligent flight, where it banked to avoid crashing into the plane.
I don't know about that, to be fair. I mean, the plane's flying, and it, for all you know, that could have been static in the air, and the plane's flying around it. It didn't seem to change its angle, didn't seem to change direction. It just seemed to go past, and that's the only footage that we've seen of it. Now, did the pilot go back and do a second take? I don't know. I've not seen any other footage other than what you've just seen.
Even though it flew right at it.
And it's not the only strange craft seen over Colombia.
In 2020, a pilot flying an Airbus A320 over Medellin, Colombia, saw a square object in the sky. When you look at the video, it looks like it's solid metal, but it's very small. It doesn't have an engine. It doesn't have wings.
The object also evades radar detection, leaving the pilot puzzled.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sightings where pilots have radioed the towers and gone, we've got a sighting, can you confirm there's anything up here? And they've gone, no, we can't see anything. Is that just because they're so small? That the radar cross-section is too small for conventional radar? Who knows?
He said it was way too high up to be a balloon. He couldn't explain what it was.
We analyzed.
I don't think you could say that when you've got college students launching balloons to the edge of space to take pictures. I don't think you can say it's too high for a balloon.
That one ourselves in an earlier episode. And we couldn't explain it either, making it a genuine UFO. Then, in March 2025, another spherical UFO flies over Colombia and allegedly even lands. X-rays of the sphere show multiple layers of metal surrounding a central chip, but its origins remain a mystery.
Is that the boogosphere? The boogosphere? Booger? Whichever one. That Dr. Stephen Greer is investigating. It just looks like a ball bearing with some shit engraving on it.
Is what our pilot saw somehow related to that puzzling sphere?
This isn't a clearly identified object, so there's a mystery to it.
And two other things that heighten this mystery. One, this UFO didn't show up on radar. And two, it seems this pilot is trying to stay off our radar. That's right. Despite our attempts to talk to the man himself, it's been radio silence. So is this actually the best UFO ever? Or is there reason to be suspicious?
Always be suspicious. Always be open-minded, but be suspicious.
We'll let our experts decide.
Go on, Michael Primo.
First,
oh, no, it's not.
Could the video be a fake?
To me, it's extremely fishy that they knew that this object was going to come across the sky and pointing their camera when they did, and then had this one incident happen where now you've got this object coming across their window.
Yeah, but didn't they say they saw it and then they basically went back round, and at that point is when they probably filmed it?
I don't think that it's there. I think it's actually a computer-generated image.
Then again, the pilot's foresight in filming the object is consistent with the account he gave in initial interviews, that he had already seen it and went back for another glance.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So they'd seen it, gone back round, and then co-pilots obviously took his camera ready for it to pass them.
We may not be ready to call this one a hoax just yet.
From this recording, the clarity of the object is strong. There is nothing that suggests that that object was added into that scene.
If it's not a fake, could it be space junk falling to Earth?
This is definitely not a falling rocket part because it was actually holding steady at that particular altitude.
Wait a minute. Holding steady? The pilot himself says this thing sped right past him. But D'Antonio doesn't.
No, I mean, it would speed past you. If you're running and someone stood still, you speed right past them. It doesn't mean that they were coming at you at speed. It just means that you're traveling at the object. So it could be moving relatively slow in the air. But, you know, have you ever seen two planes go in the opposite direction? And it looks like the other plane's going like a bat out of hell. And it's just because of the relative speed of that plane and the relative speed of your plane makes it quicker. I explained that really well, didn't I?
See that here.
I don't think he saw something coming at him at very high speed. I think he saw something he was passing at very high speed that was sitting rather still in the air, and thus it looked like it was moving toward him at very high speed.
With that in mind, we can think of only one likely culprit.
A balloon.
I believe that what we're looking at here was moving much slower than the aircraft. Maybe it's traveling on air currents, and we saw it zip by. In some of the still frames, I was able to see that the object had the uncanny resemblance to a Mylar balloon.
However, Hoffman disagrees.
With a balloon, the aircraft's moving along would have probably caused it to deviate or move around a little bit. The wind.
No. I think the impact of the aircraft moving on the balloon would have been after it had already passed, not while it was passing.
It's going to buffer it and make it.
Because it wasn't passing at that close of an angle. It wasn't right off its wing.
Move in different directions, and you just don't see that here.
Then could this really be a genuine UFO? Opinions are divided.
Well, to be fair, right, they're saying because it wasn't moving at speed past the plane doesn't make it not a UFO. Who's to say that it wasn't just hovering there doing what it's doing?
I think it's CGI.
To me,
what evidence has he got to say it's CGI? Has he, like Michael Primo would look at the film, look at the He'll probably break it down, look at it in Photoshop, look at the frames per second, and look at to see whether the color of the object matches the background of the object, and do an analysis on it. The other guy just goes, I think it's CGI. Where's your evidence? Where's your scientific-based evidence for that?
Every aspect of this says Mylar balloon.
You got a daytime sighting. You got a credible witness. It's not something minuscule. It's not even out of focus. It is such a clear image that it was dubbed one of the best UFO sightings of that year.
It's inconclusive.
Inconclusive for what, though?
Our verdict? This is an unexplained object. At least
UFO.
until our experts can reach more of a consensus.
Right, so this is where I take umbrage a little bit with the proof is out there. Because they're all the experts out. One guy's saying, yeah, it's CGI. There's no evidence or no scientific basis for that, as far as I can see. Michael Primo, who's the actual expert who does video analysis, turns around and said, it's inconclusive, meaning he can't see any evidence that it's been digitally added. Then you've got the other expert who says it could potentially be a Mylar balloon. Now, his image of what a Mylar balloon looked like didn't quite match what was on video. You could look at anything and go, find me something that would be credible to fit the shape and the shape and size of this, and you'd eventually find something. Could it be a balloon? Yes. Do we know it's a balloon? No. Is it a UFO? Yes. Why is it a UFO? Because it's unidentified flying object. So there it is. It's over to you, really, what you think it is, and what. Me personally, I have no idea. It's a UFO. No idea what it is. Could be a balloon. Could be a flying saucer. Who knows? But I don't like people saying, I think it's CGI, without giving technical evidence of why they've come to that conclusion. Because we can all do that. Yeah, I think it's a balloon. Well, what makes you say that? I just think that's what I think. Where's the evidence? I don't have any. Okay. Anyway, that's all for this rant. You take care, and I will see you on the next one. But do in the comments, please tell me what you think it is. Cheers. See ya.